You are floating in the open ocean. The water is warm, the surface is calm, and somewhere in your mind is the one shape everybody pictures: a gray fin, a shark sliding up from the deep. It is the single most feared animal on the planet, and it is almost the least likely thing down there to ever hurt you, because the truth about the ocean is the exact opposite of what your fear tells you. The monsters with the teeth mostly leave you alone. The things that actually kill people are the ones you cannot see, cannot feel coming, and would never think to be afraid of. And the single deadliest thing in the entire ocean is not an animal at all. It has no eyes, no teeth, and no intention of hurting you. It does not have to. So here's the question this whole video is going to answer, and by the end, it is going to change how you feel about deep water for the rest of your life. What is actually the deadliest thing in the ocean to a human being? Not the scariest looking. Not the one from the films. The one that genuinely kills the most people. We are going to count down through the real dangers of the sea, from the ones you have heard of to the ones you have not, and I promise you the order is nothing like you expect. The famous killers are near the bottom of the list. The real one is hiding in plain sight all around you every time you step into the water. Let us go. Start with the shark, because we have to clear it out of the way. In an average year, across the entire planet with billions of people swimming, surfing, and diving, sharks kill around 10 human beings. 10. In the same year, you are more likely to be killed by a falling coconut, by a cow, by a vending machine tipping over, than by every shark in every ocean combined. The great white, the animal that has starred in your nightmares since 1975, does not actually want to eat you. It hunts fat, energy-rich seals, and a bony human is a disappointment. Most shark bites are a single confused taste, and then the animal leaves. The shark is not the villain of the ocean. It is the marketing. And it is worth being honest about where that terror actually came from, because it has a birthday. In 1975, a single film about a great white hunting a small-town swimming beach frightened an entire generation out of the water. It was brilliant, and it was fiction. The author who wrote the original novel spent the rest of his life horrified by what it had done, and became a shark conservationist, because in the years after that film, people hunted sharks in a frenzy and their populations crashed. Sit with that for a second. The animal you are most afraid of in the entire ocean is so harmless, and we were so wrong about it, that our fear very nearly wiped it out, while it carried on killing almost nobody. That is how badly miscalibrated our sense of danger in the sea really is. So why are you so certain the shark is the danger? Because of the way your brain was built, long before there was an ocean in your life at all. For millions of years, the thing most likely to kill your ancestor was a big predator with visible teeth and forward-facing eyes, something that chased and bit. So evolution wired you to feel instant, screaming terror at exactly that shape. A fin, a jaw, a dark eye. It never wired you to fear a beautiful little shell, or a patch of clear jelly, or the calm water itself, because on the ancient savannah, none of those things could hurt you. Your fear is perfectly tuned for a world you no longer live in, and the ocean exploits that mistake completely. This is why horror films can make you dread a fin, but no film has ever made you dread a shell or a still, sunny patch of shallow water. Your terror is loud and cinematic and aimed at the wrong thing, while the real killers sit quietly just outside the frame, exactly where evolution taught you never to look. So before we start the countdown properly, a question for the comments, and be honest, what is the thing in the ocean that scares you the most? The shark, obviously, for a lot of you. But maybe it is the deep, the dark water underneath you where the bottom disappears. Maybe it is something with too many legs. Drop it below, because I want to know what your instincts are screaming at you. And then, as we go, watch how many of the things you are genuinely afraid of turn out to be almost harmless, and how many of the ones you have never thought about turn out to be able to kill you in minutes. Let us begin the countdown where most people's knowledge stops, with the animals that actually do hurt people, but rarely kill them. The stingray, a gentle, flat, almost friendly-looking creature that killed the wildlife presenter Steve Irwin in 2006 with a single freak strike of the barb on its tail, straight to the heart. The lionfish, all beautiful trailing spines, each one venomous. The sea urchin you can step on. The jellyfish that leave welts across a whole beach in summer. These are real, they are painful, and they send people to hospital. But on the scale of true danger, they are barely the beginning. Keep going down, into the water most people never think about. Because here's where the ocean stops playing. The deadliest animals in the sea are not the big ones. They are small, quiet, and often beautiful. The stonefish, sitting perfectly disguised as a rock on the seabed, carrying the most painful venom of any fish alive. Agony so intense that victims beg to have the limb cut off. The cone snail, a shell so gorgeous tourists pick it up to keep. Nicknamed the cigarette snail because after it stings you, you have roughly enough time to smoke one cigarette, and there is no anti-venom. And the blue-ringed octopus, small enough to sit in the palm of your hand, carrying enough toxin to kill 26 adult humans with, again, no cure. Every one of these could be within arm's reach of a paddling child, and none of them looks remotely dangerous. Picture the most ordinary version of that. A family on a bright, shallow, turquoise beach, the kind you would see on a postcard. A child wading in the warm water finds a shell, and it is genuinely beautiful, glossy, and patterned like something carved on purpose. So the child does the most natural thing in the world. They close their small hand around it to carry it up the beach and show their mother. If that shell is a cone snail, it can fire a hidden harpoon into their palm in a single instant, and there is no antivenom anywhere on the planet. No teeth, no fin, no warning at all. Just a pretty shell on a perfect beach in the hand of a curious child. That is the whole ocean in one image. The danger is never wearing the costume you are watching for. And once you see that pattern, something clicks, and it is the first real answer of this video. The ocean's deadliest creatures are almost never the ones your fear is watching for. They are not big. They do not have teeth. They do not chase you. They are tiny, still, gorgeous, and patient, and they kill with chemistry instead of muscle. Your whole instinct is pointed at the wrong target. But if you are now thinking the real answer is one of these little venomous things, hold on, because even they are not it. Even the most lethal creature in the sea barely scratches the surface of what the ocean actually does to people. Which brings us to the most venomous animal in the ocean, and one of the most venomous on Earth. The box jellyfish. It is almost transparent, so you never see it coming. It drifts, silent, with tentacles up to 3 meters long, each one lined with millions of microscopic harpoons loaded with a venom that attacks your heart, your nervous system, and your skin all at once. A serious sting can stop a human heart in under 5 minutes, faster than anyone could get you to a hospital. It has killed far more people than sharks ever have, mostly in the warm waters off northern Australia and Southeast Asia. So there is your first real answer. Forget the shark. If we are talking about the deadliest animal in the ocean, it is a clear, brainless bag of jelly you will never even see. But an animal is still not the deadliest thing in the sea. Not even close. And the sea is still not out of surprises. There are sea snakes among the most venomous reptiles on Earth, though mercifully shy and reluctant to bite. There is the Portuguese man-o'-war, which is not even a single creature but a whole colony pretending to be one, trailing stinging tentacles for meters across the surface. And there is the one genuine giant whose fearsome reputation is completely earned, the saltwater crocodile, which patrols the river mouths and coasts of the tropics and kills a real grim number of people every year. The single big-toothed monster that actually does hunt human beings. But hold on to this, because it is the whole point. Even the crocodile, even every venomous creature in the sea stacked on top of it, is still a rounding error next to the answer we are counting down toward. All the animals together are the small print. And the sea does not only strike from the outside, some of it kills you from the inside, on your own dinner plate. The pufferfish, served as the delicacy fugu, carries a toxin so potent that a single badly prepared fish can paralyze and kill the person eating it, fully awake, unable to move, as their breathing quietly stops. Certain reef fish carry tiguatera, a poison you cannot taste, cook out, or see that has left people sick for months from a single meal. The ocean feeds more of humanity than almost anything on Earth, and woven right through that gift is a quiet thread of ways it can end you for accepting it. Even the food from the sea is a gamble it never lets you forget you were taking. If your entire mental picture of ocean danger just quietly rearranged itself, subscribe, because that is what this channel does. It takes the thing everyone is sure about and shows you the truth hiding underneath it. And stay with me, because we are about to leave the animals behind completely, and the real answer, the actual deadliest thing in the entire ocean, is going to be so obvious in hindsight that you will not believe you did not see it coming. So let us do the thing that cuts through all the fear and all the mythology, and actually count. Sharks, around 10 deaths a year. The box jellyfish, somewhere in the dozens. Add up every venomous sting, every bite, every stab from every dangerous animal in every ocean on the planet, and you land in the low hundreds of deaths a year, worldwide. It is a real number, and every one of those is a tragedy. But hold that figure in your head. A few hundred, because I am about to put another number next to it, and the gap between the two is going to tell you exactly where the real danger in the ocean has been hiding the entire time. So before I say it, take your guess. Every shark, every jellyfish, every venomous shell in the world, together, a few hundred deaths a year. Now, the single deadliest thing in the ocean, the one I have been building to this whole time, kills more people than that in a single ordinary day, not a year, a day. It is not rare, it is not exotic, and it is not lurking in the deep. It is the most familiar thing about the ocean, the very first thing you notice about it, and it is the one thing nobody is ever afraid of until it is far too late. Put your guess in the comments now, and then let me show you. The deadliest thing in the ocean is the ocean. It is the water. Drowning kills around 236,000 people every single year. That is not a typo. More than 200,000 human beings, year after year, killed by the water itself, and a huge share of that is the sea. No teeth, no venom, no malice, just water, doing the one thing water does, filling the space where your breath is supposed to be. Every shark, every jellyfish, every creature in every ocean added together does not kill in a year what the plain water kills in about 2 days. The monster you were scanning the surface for was never the danger. The danger was the surface. The deadliest predator in the sea has no eyes because it does not need to look for you. You walked into it, and this is the part that reframes everything. The shark, the jellyfish, the cone snail, every one of them is a danger you can, in theory, avoid. You can get out of their way. But the water is not a thing in the ocean. It is the ocean, which means the threat and the place are the same. There is no swimming clear of it. The moment you are in the sea, you are already inside the deadliest thing in it. And the water does not even need to drown you directly to be lethal. Cold is a killer all on its own. Fall into the sea in much of the world, and the cold shock alone can make you gasp water straight into your lungs in seconds, or stop your heart outright. Then there are rip currents, invisible rivers running out to sea that drag calm, capable swimmers away from shore faster than an Olympian can swim back, and exhaust them until they go under. There is no fin to spot, no warning shape. The ocean kills the way it always has, quietly, patiently, using cold and distance and its own vast indifference. And it has been doing it since the very first human was ever foolish enough to wade in past their depth. And the cruelest detail of all is that drowning does not even look like drowning. Forget the thrashing and the screaming from the films. Real drowning is almost completely silent. A person in genuine trouble usually cannot wave and cannot shout because every scrap of breath and effort is going into the desperate fight to keep their mouth above the surface. They do not splash dramatically. They slip under quietly, often only a few feet away from other people who never notice that anything is wrong at all. That is the ocean's masterpiece of quiet killing. It does not announce itself because it does not need to. By the time anyone nearby realizes the danger was ever real, the water has usually already finished. And drowning is only the water's most common weapon, not its only one. Go the other way, downward, and the ocean kills in a way that is almost pure physics. For every 10 meters you descend, the pressure crushing in on you increases by the weight of another entire atmosphere. Go deep enough without protection, and the water does not even need to fill your lungs. It simply squeezes them smaller. It forces gases into your blood. It fogs and poisons your mind. It turns your own body chemistry against you. The deep ocean is a place of total darkness and crushing weight where nothing about a human being was ever meant to go, and it does not need a single tooth to guarantee you never come back up. It is lethal simply by existing. And the genuinely unnerving part is how little of this killer we have even seen. The ocean is not just wide, it is deep, on average nearly 4 kilometers straight down, and the overwhelming majority of it, the largest living space on your own planet, has never been seen by human eyes at all. We have better maps of the surface of Mars than we do of our own seabed. More people have walked on the moon than have reached the bottom of the deepest ocean trench. The single biggest environment on Earth, the one that kills more of us than every sea creature combined, is also the one we understand the least. You are terrified of a shark you can picture in perfect detail. You should be humbled by the enormous, silent dark that you cannot. And here's the part that should genuinely rearrange your fear, because it is the exact opposite of the story you were told. The giant monsters, the ones we build films and nightmares around, are the ones that leave us alone. The orca, the ocean's true apex predator, powerful enough to kill a great white or a blue whale, has never once killed a human being in the wild, not a single recorded time. The great white does not hunt us, it taste tests and leaves. The huge whales slide past divers without a flicker of interest. The biggest, most powerful, most frightening animals in the entire sea have collectively decided we are not worth the effort. It is the small, the invisible, and above all the water itself that does the killing. And under all of this is something deeper. Something about what we are. You are a land animal. Every part of you. Your lungs, your weight, your instincts was built for solid ground under an open sky. The ocean is the single largest habitat on the planet. It covers most of your world, and it is a place your body was never designed to survive in for more than a few minutes. To your ancestors, the sea was the edge of everything. A flat, endless, hungry horizon that swallowed people and gave nothing back. They had no word for most of what lived in it. It was, quite literally, the closest thing early humans had to another world, right there at the end of the beach. So the real mystery is not why the ocean kills us. It is why on Earth we ever went in. Because we did. Despite every drowning, every sting, every body the sea kept, humans waded in and then swam out, and then built boats and crossed entire oceans to islands they could not possibly have known were there. We learned to dive on a single breath, deeper than seems survivable, to pull food and pearls from the dark. We are a land ape that looked at the one environment most likely to kill it and decided to move in anyway. Nothing else on the planet does that. The ocean is lethal to us, and we could never, ever leave it alone. And we did it far earlier than seems possible. Around 50,000 years ago, long before farming, before writing, before the wheel, human beings crossed open ocean to reach Australia. Kilometers of water with no land in sight, on rafts or boats we have never even found. They could not have known for certain that there was anything at all on the other side. They pushed out over the single deadliest thing in the world, on purpose, into the blue, and they kept going until they hit a shore no human had ever touched. Whatever the sea took from us, and it took a very great deal, something in us has always been willing to pay it. We are the animal that drowns and sails straight back out anyway. And some of us went further still, and let the ocean reshape our very bodies. Off the coasts of Southeast Asia live the Bajau, sea nomads who have spent so much of their lives underwater that, in only a few thousand years, they have measurably evolved larger spleens, a built-in reserve that floods their blood with extra oxygen and lets them dive on one held breath to depths that would black out almost anyone else. Free divers slip past 30, 40, even 100 meters down on a single lungful of air, straight into the crushing dark that should kill them, and come back up smiling. We are a land ape that did not just refuse to stay out of the deadliest place on Earth. We started rebuilding ourselves to go deeper into it. The ocean keeps trying to kill us, and we keep leaning in. Now let me be straight with you, the way this channel tries to be, because deadliest is a slippery word. If you mean the most venomous single drop, it is the box jellyfish or the cone snail. If you mean the animal that kills the most people, it is arguably the jellyfish, or in some tellings, the humble, unglamorous creatures that spread disease. But if you mean the thing in the ocean that actually ends the most human lives, full stop, no asterisks, it is not an animal at all, and it never was. It is the water. The scary answer and the true answer are almost never the same, and the ocean is the purest example of that gap on the planet, which lands us right back on the pattern this whole channel keeps finding. We fear the wrong things, loudly, and miss the real ones completely. You think a kiss is romance, and it is a chemical test. You think aging is bad luck, and it is a program. You think the ocean's danger is the shark, the fin, the teeth, and the danger is the calm water lapping at your chest. Every single time, the dramatic monster we are staring at is a decoy, and the thing that actually decides whether we live or die is quiet, ancient, and hiding in plain sight, right where we would never think to look. It is almost a rule of being human. The threat that grabs your attention is hardly ever the one that gets you, because the one that gets you never bothered to look threatening in the first place. And here is the twist I cannot shake. The most dangerous thing in the ocean has no plan for you. The shark at least notices you exist. The jellyfish at least reacts to your touch. But the water, the thing that kills more people than all of them combined, does not know you are there at all. It is not hunting, not defending, not angry. It is simply filling every space it can reach, exactly as it has for 4 billion years. And you are a fragile, air-breathing pocket that wandered into the middle of it. The deadliest predator in the sea is the only one with no intention behind it whatsoever, and that, somehow, is so much more frightening than teeth. And every so often, the ocean stops killing quietly, one swimmer at a time, and does it all at once just to remind us what it actually is. On a single morning in December 2004, the sea floor off Indonesia lurched and the water rose up and walked ashore across a dozen countries. In a matter of hours, that wave killed around 230,000 people. Let that number sit next to the others. Every shark attack in recorded history, every jellyfish, every venomous sting ever documented, does not come close to what the plain water did in one morning. No teeth were involved. No predator made a choice. The ocean simply moved, the way it always has, and an entire coastline of human beings happened to be standing in the way. So the next time you are out past your depth, with the surface calm and the sun on the water, and your mind starts drawing that gray fin sliding up from below, remember what you are actually floating in. The shark beneath you, if there even is one, almost certainly wants nothing to do with you. The beautiful shell on the seabed is the one you should not touch. And the thing most likely to kill you is the calm, warm, indifferent water holding you up right now, the oldest and quietest killer on Earth. Patient as ever, waiting to see whether you make it back to the sand. So tell me in the comments, did you guess it, or were you still watching the fin the whole time? And tell me the ocean fear you are never going to shake, even now. If you made it all the way here, hit like and subscribe, because we are nowhere near done taking the things you are certain about and turning them upside down. Next time, we go after something you do every single night, something that should have gotten our ancestors killed, and the reason your body still insists on doing it is stranger than anything in the sea. I will see you there.